All right, still in the Netherlands. I cannot remember what city this is. Probably couldn't pronounce it anyway, but it is the Memory Museum. So this is the outside of the museum. I was here last year. Very well done museum. And we're gonna check it out again. All right, inside the museum. And just a lot of different displays. Won't find relics in this museum for the most part, but it'll be the displays, and all nicely done. All right, walking down the hallway. The beginning talks about the rise of the Nazi political power. And this here would be the D-Day display. And this cannon was actually used in Saving Private Ryan, if I remember correctly. And there we've got a bunker. MG42 up there. And then more displays that we'll get to there next. And display of a uniform.
Okay.
Right, lighting here is not so fantastic, but we're gonna give it a try. And this is a cutaway Panzerschreck. I haven't seen that before. That's really cool. And display of just crew serve weapons, machine guns. That's a recoilless rifle. Not sure what type. It looks like it's from Korea or Vietnam, but if it's here, it must be World War II. And looking at the bolt-action rifles. Got a cool display here to check. I think ZB37, ZB something. And the SS quite often use those because they use just a hodgepodge of items. Oh, Edward, looks like there's a Sten silencer just leaning right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's definitely a silencer for the Sten.
Okay, labeled that Browning as a Saginaw / Browning.
Made by Saginaw Gear. So yeah, all these. Yeah.
Singer-song machine.
Yep, exactly. So Bren, mortars. See if I can get a close-up of some of this. And of course, we've already videoed this quite often already, but can't have too much. Another suppressed Sten. Very interesting. So, Lanchester, I think, but there's a suppressed Sten. And you can see the mold on the canvas cover. Yep. I'll just do a pan of the room here. And of course, more firearms here. Yeah, definitely a relic. I'd say it's a Mauser MG81. Interesting. Oh man, look at that cutaway right there. That is nice. Yeah. That is a very cool cutaway. Well done. Come up. Come over. MP40s. Beretta submachine guns. Good submachine guns used by the Nazis quite often. MG42, but actually it's a Yugoslavian M53, but it's identical. You can tell because it does not have the clip-on part for the anti-aircraft sight, and all German MG42s did. I'm not sure what that is. What is that? Alpha Oviedo. Interesting.
It's got the clamshell on the back like a Browning.
Yeah.
It's got a charging handle wheel like a MG42.
Yeah. Interesting. That's a salty looking MG42. Or excuse me, MG34. That's a tanker. You can see it doesn't have all the perforations. Flare gun, Maxim. We'll just do a pan of the rifles. Of course, we have some Peppershaw's, PPS H41. Is that SVT Sniper? Yeah, SVT 40 Sniper. And the Germans thought really highly of those rifles. Most were not snipers, and I think all they did was just add an optic mount with an optic. But you'll see Germans in footage carrying those. And a Dishka, 12.7 millimeter. Very effective, used for many, many decades. Yeah, looks like anti-tank guns here, anti-tank rifles, portions of it. So we will move on. And we're walking through the display, another room of displays, and quad 50s. We just cannot, they must have just gave these things away. It's crazy. It's really surprising how many quad 50s are on display at various museums. Obviously, that's pretty awesome. Too dark, I think, for that. So, but they really put a lot of work into these displays. It's busy. It's a busy museum. And we did find out that the reason why there's so many kids is because they are on a fall type break. But yep, 1919. I have to say those jump boots look really cool.
Yeah.
And they look comfortable, you know?
Yeah, they're Janners.
Yeah, actually they do, yep.
Why do they have cloth belts on disintegrating links?
I think cloth were first, and then they figured out how they could use disintegrating. But I believe cloth was first. All right, and then there is a V2 rocket. So we'll have to get around that and take a look at it. So here's a model of a V1 rocket, if I'm not mistaken. Sometimes I confuse V1 and V2, but I believe this is V1, the first model that shows the ramp. And you see it there, provides some scale. And there that looks like part of an engine. Let's see, yeah, it looks like V1. So this looks like a really good reproduction of the V1. So nicely done. Come over. Right next to it is a display of a mortar crew. Looks like British. So there's the V1 rocket. And then a photo here of a V2. So this is what they launched a lot of these also on England, if I remember correctly. So And this looks like part of, let's see what it says. Okay, V2 motor. So this is V2 motor. V1, or excuse me, V2 rocket launched. Basically, Wernher von Braun was the head of the program, and then later was snatched up by the Americans and really headed up the rocket program at NASA. Would have been tough getting to the moon without Wernher von Braun. And I think that's it for the display. I think we're done.
I think so.
Yeah.